what you're going to be asked at the U.S. Embassy when you go in for your marriage interview. But we're going to ask you questions that we've heard time and time again, that this is a good chance this question is going to be asked. And they're going to compare your answers and see if your answers match. Don't say anything. Write it down. Where did you go on your first date? Whoa! Okay, what happened? Why did you get that one wrong?
It wasn't like a real date though. Well, it was like agreed to meet and stuff like that. But it wasn't a date though.
Tommeicka!
But went to TGIF.
What happened there?
Okay, so I would say the first date would be Elsha. That's the first time we met.
Yeah, go ahead. So the first time you met was considered a date, and he said no the first time he actually took...
When we went to Fridays was last year, so I would not consider that as the first date.
Without your second date. I will say this, and they swear on a stack of Bibles this is an absolutely real, bona fide, loving marriage. And they have already gone in to the U.S. Embassy and screwed up their first question. People say, oh, it's a real marriage. I don't need a lawyer. Here it is. This is another question that you may very well hear on your marriage interview. So where did you celebrate your first anniversary?
For me, it's blind.
What is it? We don't celebrate. I was here. Hey, 1 for 2. Very good. This is another question. Where did Tommeicka work when you first met? H, home health? Okay, very good. Now to the next question. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
How did Kevin propose to I assume he proposed. I assume Tommeicka didn't propose to Kevin. Over the phone. Very romantic, Kevin. Very, very romantic. What did Tommeicka wear on your wedding day? She's gonna smack you if you get this one wrong. White wedding dress with a veil? Red and black lingerie? At the wedding, not in the bedroom. Oh la la. We weren't asking that. That was funny. This is another question you may very well hear on your marriage interview. What side of the bed does Kevin sleep on? On the side by the door. Any side of the bed? What kind of answer is that? That's like a half and half one. All right, here's the final question. What's the last movie you saw together? I really want to bratify this marriage. I'm hoping. I got my fingers crossed. Put it up. Let's see. Jamaica Mafia. Didn't come to town. You guys watch different movies.
Yes.
How did that happen?
No, because actually it was the same night. The two movies were the same night.
The two movies were the same night?
This was the first one.
Right.
That was the second.
Kevin needs to speak up and say, we watched two movies the last night. I'm not sure which one my wife's going to pick, but we watched both of these movies. I can tell that you guys are a real marriage, but you want to know what? You may have failed your interview because you got so many of those questions wrong. When we asked, where was your first date? You got to clarify, well, was it the first time we met, or was it the first time that we went out on a formal date? Because Tommeicka took it as the first time we met, and you took it as, Kevin, our first formal date. And it's really a clarification between you and your spouse, not so much clarification between you and the officer, so that way you make sure that you and your spouse are on the same page. I mean, think about it. You got 3 out of 5 wrong. So when they ask, what did your wife wear on her wedding day? Do you mean at the ceremony, or do you mean in the bedroom in the evening? And, obviously show that you have an ongoing relationship. And really, if anything, what it shows is that even people who are in loving, bona fide relationships, unless they really get in the mindset, you can fail these interviews. So I don't mean to scare you. You'll be fine. You just got to get on, make sure you're on the same page. Thank you for playing the Bradified Marriage Game with us.